just taking the first shift.
First shift.
Yeah, right behind him, Nate.
Yep. Should be fun.
Well, it's morning on Friday, 7 o'clock.
Tired.
Oh, everybody's tired.
We're dead.
Somewhere in Minnesota.
Nate's already here though. He's got.
We're on our fourth driver. How long have we been driving? 12 hours now? A little over 12 hours.
Yeah. 13.
Another 7 hours or so to go. We'll be in North Dakota.
We made it.
There it is. North Dakota.
Only 4 more hours to go. So it's been quite the day so far. We are in North Dakota. We're not quite to where we're going to be hunting yet, but we had an eventful evening in that the GPS in our car took us on a 3-hour detour, so we're actually going to be 3 hours later than when we thought we were going to get there. So that and the truck had a fuel leak. That was another thing. And then the first Walmart we stopped at, apparently they didn't have the bow tags we needed, which is really weird, and we didn't understand that, so we had to go to a different one. So, but hopefully in 2-3 hours we'll be out in the woods ready to hunt. Opening day here in North Dakota.
I'm ready to hunt, boys.
So it is 3:45.
Sweating too.
We were supposed to be here at like 11:30. A couple hiccups, right, guys?
Just a few.
Not too many.
We got taken on a detour by the GPS in the middle of the night. Ended up about 2.5-3 hours off course. That set us pretty far behind. We stopped at our Walmart as soon as we got into North Dakota, and they did not have any tags. So we stopped at the Walmart in Botany, where we were hunting, and they locked up their machine. So we just left the courthouse in Botany, where we were able to get tags, but come to find out they did not take debit cards. So then we went on a wild goose chase to find an ATM and go get cash. So we are finally in the truck, headed to landowner's property. We all have tags, and we're gonna hunt tonight if it's the last thing we do.
Alright, first evening hunt here, North Dakota. This is where I'll be hunting tonight. First one dropped off, they're just going down the hill there. It's 5:40, so we're getting a late start here. But we'll see what happens. 2019 here in North Dakota. Set up on an alfalfa field down in the bottom here. Just got set up. I'll give you guys a bit of my view here. We made it. August 30. Opener for archery in North Dakota. We had quite the day today. Our GPS actually got us on a 3-hour detour, so we actually ended up getting here about 4 hours after we wanted to. And then we had to stop at 3 different locations in order to get tags. Our first place didn't have any. The second place, their system broke down. And then the third place, we actually did at the courthouse, the local courthouse. That was kind of crazy. And actually I had to drive a couple blocks away to get cash to pay for them because they didn't take cards. So but we're finally up. The landowner gave us an awesome tour property. We're super excited. Basically right now I'm kind of set up on a little wood lot, probably a 3-acre wood lot that's surrounded on 3 sides by alfalfa field. The idea is, I think, based on some of the tracks I see, that I think the deer will move through here as they move from one bedding or feeding to another feeding. The other guys are kind of set up watching 2 of those alfalfa fields, and then otherwise we're pretty spread out. We got about 1,700 acres to work with for the 4 of us, and we're super excited. But I did getting late, so I'm gonna kind of quiet down, and we're gonna see what happens on night number 1. All right.
Good evening. Here we are, finally in North Dakota. It's August 30th. Getting a little late start tonight. We did have some hiccups along the way getting here, but we're here and we're ready to hunt. I did drop Elijah, Brett, and Nate off already, and I'm heading out to an area that's a little ways away from where they're at. It's a smaller piece of land. I don't really know what I'm walking into yet. I just looked at this piece of land basically from an aerial view, so it looked pretty appealing. Gonna head in there, check it out, and hopefully we get some action.
That kind of wraps up evening number 1. I didn't see anything. It did sound like the guys were seeing a little bit. Nothing worth shooting, but I think I'm gonna work on getting down, and we'll regroup with the guys and come up with a plan for tomorrow. Well, it's day 2, first morning hunt. Up in a tree stand today. Look at my view. It's a little bit breezy. It's about 60 degrees. Got a first deer out on the other side of the field working this way. Right over. Right there. Just a doe, but we'll see what happens. Well, it's our first morning, August 31st. It's about 6:30. Shooting light just started. Today I'm actually set up on the ground. I kind of found this down tree that I kind of just wedged myself into. I'm about probably 5 yards off the edge of the alfalfa field. Moved about 100, 150 yards to the east from my previous position. Really, this morning, like I don't have high expectations. I don't expect to see much, but I wanted to set up in a spot where I could at least glass the field. I got the spotting scope out. Just kind of looking around, hoping today's going to be a good morning. So the other guys are out, set up. I watched, I think Elisha had a little bit of trouble finding a tree this morning, but we're going to go at it. It's hunt number 2 of 6. And let's hope one of us makes it
Well, it's the second morning of our hunt, and just heading back. Actually didn't see anything today. Didn't get a chance to film, but last night we got out pretty late because of our hiccups getting here, and I set up on a completely different area than I'm in today, and I seen I think 3 or 4 different groups of doe. I ended up just sitting up on a hay bale because I really didn't have the right equipment with me to get a hang on in a tree. So I think the plan is to go back out there tonight or this afternoon, get a hang on in the middle of the day sometime, and then do an evening hunt out there and see what happens. And then I'd like to see what happens there in the morning. There's a lot of land to cover here. I tried an area that was kind of a little wood lot. It looked like there was a lot of trails going in there, and it was pretty thick. I ended up sitting on a wood pile, and as soon as the sun peeked out, the bees that apparently lived in that wood pile decided that I wasn't welcome, so they pushed me out a little earlier than I intended to, but I was able to glass quite a bit of field, and I was really surprised that I did not see a thing. So I know the other guys are packing up. They're gonna look for a couple trees to get some climbers in, so they should be headed out here soon. And my goal today is to get that hang on in a tree, and got 3 more hunts. Hopefully we can make something happen.
So we're getting ready for our evening hunt on Saturday, August 31st. But while we're getting ready, just thought I'd give you guys a look at kind of our campsite, our little setup. We got in late last night here, and then obviously went out this morning, so didn't have much time then. But just to kind of give you a look, really like the campground we're staying at, honestly, but it's kind of thin, wide, a lot of privacy with the trees. But Nate and I are sleeping in there, and Jesse's in there, and then Elijah's back in this little thing. I don't know how he fits, but nice little spot. I mean, we got a trail right to the bathhouse right there, so that's fun. But basically just keeping all of our stuff inside the trailer and then throwing what we need in the truck for each night. So we're getting ready right now, hoping for a good evening hunt, so tune in.
Okay, back in the stand. Be the 3rd hunt. It's the 2nd night, so 2nd evening hunt. Back in the same stand I was this morning. Last night I had 4 deer come in, and I had just down right here 14 yards. I had 2 doe come in, I had another one right up behind me, and then 2 across the field. But I think tonight I'll take a doe if one comes in and gives me a shot, and if it's a good mature doe, yeah, we will see what's going to happen. We're supposed to be a rainstorm that's going to come in tonight, so hopefully we'll hold off until we're out of the woods. So we'll see.
Saturday evening. Got a pretty heavy wind, about 12 mile an hour. It's warm, 74 degrees. I got my hang-on tree stand set up this afternoon. Nate and Elijah and I set it up, so pretty excited about this spot. It'll be my first hunt for probably not even 5 minutes. I was still getting set up and had a coyote come right underneath me. So that was pretty cool. Anyways, I'm gonna sit it out and see what happens.
Second night here in North Dakota. Still set on this alfalfa field. I moved down a little bit where I saw the deer last night. I've actually got a doe feeding on the field about 80 yards to the east of me here. Give you guys a quick view of the new look. Stay tuned.
Well, finally got set up. It's about 5:30, and got about 3.5 hours of daylight. So I'm set up in this secluded part of the alfalfa field. It kind of drops over a ridge where there's no real good place to see it except being right on top of it where I am. To my left, I got a game trail that kind of feeds out into this little patch. And then I know this morning, I watched some does go in to some bedding that's about 80 to 100 yards to my left as well. And then on my right, in the front, I got a canola field that they don't like to walk in. So they walk the edge of it, and there's a ton of tracks moving through there, right out into this space. So hoping I can either catch one moving across me, or catch one coming out and feeding some of this alfalfa tonight. This is our first look at this part of the field, so we don't know what's here. But hopefully something gives me a chance tonight. So we're feeling really good, but never know. And the other guy's saying they're shooting a doe tonight if one comes by. I don't know if I'm there yet. Really want a buck, but we'll see. We'll see how perfect. If I got a doe at 15-20 yards, it's going to be a hard one to pass up. So, but we're in North Dakota, night number 2, and we couldn't be happier. So, all right, tune in, see what happens. Looking back into the bedding, so I was wondering if another one was going to come out, but my guess is she has a fawn back there, and she just went back in to check on her. But well, it's a sign. Had a deer come out, so that's a plus. Hopefully I can get a buck to do the same and get a little closer. So. First velvet buck. Not too bad. It's up in that stand right there. I was full draw on a doe right about here, and he came in right underneath me. So as you can tell by the shot, it was pretty much directly underneath me. Went right down. I'm excited.
Hey guys, it's Sunday morning, September 1st here in North Dakota. Just got back from the morning hunt. I did actually make it out. I was the only one to make it out. Nate and Elijah ended up sleeping in, and Jesse took a well-earned nap this morning, so after taking that buck last night. So we actually didn't get in until late, probably about 1:30 we ended up getting into bed. But I ended up sitting that alfalfa field that I did last night again. Didn't really see anything. It was pretty quiet. I think on my way in last night, I ended up walking through one of like a secondary feeding field, and I spooked a few deer, and one of them happened to be a pretty nice buck. So I think Jesse and I are gonna head out in just a little bit. I'm gonna grab my hang on, my sticks, and we're gonna make a set right there. And hopefully tonight I can score. Hopefully tonight I can really just see something. So that'll be nice. It'll be cool. I'm looking forward to it. Today's supposed to be really nice. The wind's supposed to die down, and it's supposed to actually cool off pretty nicely tonight. So hopefully last night in North Dakota we can end this fairy tale with a nice buck, and just really hoping for a chance at this point. Looking forward to a great day, great hunt, and tomorrow morning we head out. So running out of opportunities, but I think it's gonna happen. So it's late morning, day 3. Found my spot for this evening, so gonna get it up. Got Jesse with me. Now that he's killed his buck, he's relegated to stand and film duty. So, but we're gonna sneak in, get set up. That way we can just walk in tonight and sit, and hopefully we'll kill a deer. So. So guys, let me highlight what kind of trip it's been for us. What's wrong, guys?
One of the high pressure injector lines is leaking.
I don't know what he said, but something's wrong with the car.
Basically, when it runs, it's dumping like gallons of fuel below underneath.
It's really bad fuel mileage.
It's been that kind of trip. We still might kill 3 deer tonight, though. So.
Good evening. It is September 1st. It's about 5 o'clock. 70 degrees right now, light wind. I know in an early video, part of the video, I mentioned that super excited about coming out tonight. I am. But really, it's a miracle that we ended up here. We've had quite the day in that this morning we discovered a leak in the fuel injection in the truck we're using, and because it's Sunday of Labor Day weekend, we're in a town where all the auto shops are closed, and the ones that are open, they wouldn't have been able to get us the right part for 5 to 7 days. So here we are contemplating renting a U-Haul to take all the way back to Michigan. And one of our guys loves the engine in that truck so much that he's part of a Facebook forum on that engine, and he posted in there wondering if anybody had a part or anything, and a guy who lives in this town had a bunch of parts available, so he was able to get us a part in about 2 hours, and we were able to get it fixed. And on the side of the road, we were stranded on the side of the road for about 5 hours. So the fact that I'm out here is a total difference from where I was 2 hours ago. It didn't look good. So, but just a huge shout out to that guy and the landowner that we're hunting on, and he actually let us borrow his truck so we could go back and forth between the campsite. But man, it's been quite the day. But we're excited to be here. Hopefully, with all those lows, we can get a really good high tonight, and the 3 of us who haven't scored yet can take a deer. So stay tuned. We're going to see what happens. This is our last hunt in North Dakota, opening weekend. So don't know if we'll be able to come back this year, but we're definitely interested in next year. So stick with me, and let's see what happens.
Guys, last night here in North Dakota, It's been quite the trip, quite the roller coaster, but we got one last night here. Gonna take off tonight. I'm in Jesse's spot now, actually, where he shot a buck last night. We're really hoping we can have a little more luck. Hopefully a couple more will follow where he went. Give you a quick look here. First deer of the night. Got a pretty big doe over there. If she gives me a shot, she's mine. Giant 8-point. There's a 10 ahead of it, but that went out of view. Oh man, it's going the wrong way though.
Truck fix. We worked on this for, I think, about, man, maybe it was like 6 hours. We had a high pressure fuel line actually on cylinder 1 that started leaking. We took it out and put it back in maybe 3-4 times. Ended up switching it to a cylinder 8, and that one sealed then and that one did leak. So that told us that we did indeed need a new high pressure line. Long story short, we were looking around trying to find a high pressure line. It's a very uncommon part. Part stores don't have them. It's usually something you have to order. We put a post out on a LB7 Duramax forum, and believe it or not, some guy from the town that we were hunting in had one and actually delivered it to us, and we were able to get that put on and get the truck up and running. So that was pretty crazy to have that happen. He delivered it right to us, wouldn't accept any money, and that was just an awesome experience. This could have been way worse. We could have been figuring out how we're going to have this vehicle towed home. So needless to say, we are pretty tickled. So we're just stopping at a convenience store here, Elijah and I. We're about to go pick Nate and Brett up from their last hunt. We're going to do a little glassing while we wait for them. so we'll see if they get anything.
So that wraps up North Dakota. Tonight was a great night. Saw a lot of good deer. Saw 4 on a side bucks. I don't know if I actually got it on video, but I did shoot at one, probably in the 1-teens range in inches, but I just misjudged the range and I missed low. I actually bumped my camera off my stand as I shot. My bow hit it. So I don't even know if I had the camera on him and if I actually made a good shot, but the arrow was clean. I guess that's better than a bad wound and having to chase it. So would have loved to leave North Dakota with one, but I'm glad for the great experience.
All right, guys, we're back in Michigan, probably about 3 hours out from home. We just crossed the bridge a little bit ago. Just want to take some time to summarize our experience in North Dakota. Overall, a lot of things went wrong, but we had a great time. We definitely want to go back. The landowner who let us on his property was absolutely incredible. I can't state how much of a blessing he was. He literally let us drive his truck around to get places when ours was pretty much dead on the side of the road. But a lot of things went wrong, but overall had a great hunting experience. We took 3 shots. Jesse took a really nice buck in velvet. Nate lost a doe, unfortunately, to some coyotes, and there are a lot of coyotes there, probably more than there are deer. And then I missed one in the last seconds of that last hunt. So got a little bit of it on camera, but not a great view, low light. But a little disappointed in that, but still, we know there are a lot of deer there. Saw a lot of good bucks on that last night. And then Jesse saw some as well with the buck he shot. So we definitely got some ideas for next year. Really hoping to go back, maybe even stay a little longer, get there earlier to scout. Some of the things just that we learned along the way, that anything that can go wrong will go wrong, pretty much. That's one. We definitely figured, we started early on those the big alfalfa field. We were told that's where a lot of the deer like to feed, and that's true, but a lot of the deer that we want to shoot, they're hitting some of those secondary fields. So Jesse's buck was pretty much hit on a secondary field, secondary feeding area. The one I missed was on a secondary feeding area, so they just kind of hit that before they move out to the alfalfa in the middle of the night. So plus most of the coyotes are kind of stalking that alfalfa field, so we're definitely looking next year that we're going to hit some more secondary areas, and hopefully we can even get some scouting in beforehand. So but overall, amazing experience. Looking forward to next year. We're wrapping up our North Dakota experience, our hunt, but we're really excited for the Michigan season. So Nate's going to be doing some filming for his cousin who's doing the youth hunt soon. We got the early doe at late September, and then archery openers October 1st. So we're getting excited. Cameras are out, stands are set, and we're looking forward to our own season here in Michigan. So stay tuned for more videos. I'm excited to be doing this, and hopefully you guys can come along with us.